G'day everyone, Buck up in far north Queensland on Australia Day 2024. Hope you're all having a great day. You'll probably see this tonight, Australia Day. Hope you're all having a great day, everyone. Remember what it's all about. It's a day where we just celebrate that we live in a bloody good country, eh? And that's what it's all about to me. We live in a great country, one of the lucky country, aren't we really? We've got a few problems at the moment, but it's nothing compared to a lot of other countries overseas and what they're going through. So always look at the positive side of things, I guess, and especially on days like today. And just be proud of who we are and what a great country we live in. That we can sit here in peace, have a beer, make a video clip, sit inside, watch TV, go to the park and have a barbecue, go fishing. And we can do it in peace. That's the big thing, isn't it? Compared to countries over there, Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Palestine and bloody all the rest of the countries around the world that are fighting. We're lucky we live down this part of the world. We really are. We've got some good neighbours, even though they might be diddly donks at times, the Kiwis. Phil Weber over the ditch there. But yeah, we're lucky we live here. And I've had a couple of good Happy Australia Days from people overseas, as a matter of fact. Phil Weber and Steve W and all that. Andy Riches. Thanks so much, guys. People overseas, even though it's Australia Day today. Anyway, what am I going to do on Australia Day? Well, besides have a cold beer on a hot day, last night we had a bit of a fizzer cyclone come over just north of Townsville, and we got absolutely nothing here in Innisfail. It is windier today than it was last night. And I took the big shade sail down. I was up on the roof before, putting that back up, and yeah, Townsville's got a bit of damage there. Speaking of Russ, and Russ put some photos up, few trees down, fences down and all that type of stuff, but we dodged a bullet. We dodged a bullet. The cyclone didn't turn out as bad as what everyone thought it was going to be, which is a good thing. I think everyone sits there hoping for a Cat 4 or 5. When you go through one of those cyclones, you don't wish that on anyone. It's not fun. So on Australia Day, probably thinking, Buck, what are you doing sitting there having a cold beer and you've got 4 coconuts in front of you? Well, I'm going to do a little shed cook up today. I said I was going to do a shed cook up. I said my next cook up was going to be vermicelli chicken, but I'm not doing that. It's too bloody hot. It is hot at the moment. It's hot across all of Australia. Probably because it's summer, the middle of summer. You get that in summer down here. But I'm going to do a Torres Strait, a famous Torres Strait thing today. Not only Torres Strait, but Aboriginal as well. And what they're called in the Torres Strait world is Subi Subi fried scones. Now, bit of a story. Roz has got a cousin called Maria Billy. She lives here in Innisfail. All the kids call her Auntie Maya, and everyone knows her as Auntie Maya. Well, whenever there's a get-together, you can guarantee that Auntie Maya will turn up with some Subi Subi fried scones. Every do you go to, Maria's fried scones are there, without fail. I've been here 20 years, been with Roz 20 years, Nelly, and for that, as long as I've known it, Maria has always turned up with fried scones. Everyone brings food and coconut curry chicken and vermicelli chicken and fried rice, and KFC always makes an appearance, and Maria always turns up with her bloody fried scones. So I've been going to do this for a while, and I'm going to do it today on Australia Day. I'm going to have a sip of my beer. I was going to keep this short, but he's going to go. You know how I go. But anyway, Auntie Maya's Subi Subi fried scones. You're probably thinking, Buck, what is Subi Subi? Subi Subi is Torres Strait Islander for coconut. And my God, what a mission to get 4 coconuts this morning. Thought I'll rip down the beach. There's a coconut, a suburb here in Innisfail, funnily enough, called the Coconuts, out near the beach. Heaps of coconut trees. Well, do you think me and Rafa could find a coconut this morning? Because someone's got the contract from the local council here to go and denut all the trees. Denut, something that should happen to all pedophiles, but they come and denut the trees here. And I think they sell them up they cut them down off the trees green, not like this, green. And there's a guy up at Rusty's Markets, he's got a massive esky with ice in it. And you go up there on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Cairns. If you're ever up there, go to Rusty's Markets and a bloke sits there with his sharp knife, gets a green coconut out of the ice, out of the icy water, and rips the top off with his knife, and bloody puts a straw in there, and you've got beautiful sweet coconut water. Absolutely incredible. But for what I want to do today, I needed some old coconuts that were on the ground. So you can see these have been falling down for a while. I actually found 4. I could have gone down to Bingle Bay the other day with Roz's grandkids, and we got massive, big, like twice, 3 times the size of these ones down at Bingle Bay, because no one cuts them down up there and they just fall off the trees. And they are absolute beauties, but I didn't want to drive all the way to Mission Beach. 40 minutes down, 40 minutes back, probably half an hour finding them, just to do this. So anyway, I found 4. They're only small ones, that's why I got 4. So I'm not just going to cheat today and pour the coconut milk or coconut cream out of a can. I'm actually going to husk it, and if you've seen my old channel, that doesn't exist anymore, I've done this once before. I'm going to actually get the coconut out of here, crack it in half, get the water out of it, have a drink of the water if it's okay, as long as it's not thing, and I'm going to scrape the white flesh out of the coconut, and I'm going to squeeze the milk and the cream out of the coconut. So put a little bit of a spray rather than just pouring a tin of coconut milk or cream in. I'm going to do it the hard way, the good fun way, and I'm going to do it with a coconut scraper that I'm pretty sure I brought back from Papua New Guinea when I was working up there in the army, guys. Somehow I managed to get a wooden stool back into the country. I don't know how it got through quarantine, but before I forget to mention it, you're going to go, Buck, where do I get one of them coconut scrapers from? eBay, guys. Type in coconut scraper on eBay and they're there. They're about $10. You'll see them. Just scroll through. What do I need for Subi Subi fried scones? Coconut, or if you don't want to do this, if you live down south and you go, Buck, you idiot, we haven't got coconut trees down here. Well, you just go to the supermarket and buy bloody, speaking of supermarkets, Woolies has done a backflip on Australia Day and selling Australia Day merch. Get that up your Woolworths. People power. Everyone was boycotting Woolies because they weren't selling Aussie Day merch, and Woolies did a backflip and apparently are selling it now. That's what I heard. That's what I saw on the computer. Good stuff. We need to start jacking up on shit like that. If we don't, majority of us don't agree with something, start jacking up and letting people know that we're not happy. Bloody Aussies, we're a bit too timid now. We just accept everything, and we need to start pushing back a bit, I think, and especially on that disrespecting Australia Day. It's bloody, I know there's stuff out there about Australia Day that's negative, guys, but bloody hell, I think it's a day to celebrate no matter who you are. So good on Woolworths for doing a backflip and selling Australia Day merch. Got both my Aussie flags flying proudly at the front of the house today. I fly them all the time, but I'll put 2 Aussie flags up today, being Australia Day. I'm off track again. What was I talking about? Go to Woolworths or Coles and buy a can of coconut milk or coconut cream. Doesn't matter, or half a tin of each. It doesn't matter what, you just got to put a liquid in there. You could do this with water if you wanted, but they're Subi Subi. They're not Subi Subi fried scones if you don't put coconut in. They're just fried scones. You can do it with water if you don't want to put the coconut in. So, coconuts, self-raising flour, which I think I've probably just got 3 cups worth there, and some oil to fry them in. Shallow, we're going to shallow fry, not deep fry, shallow fry, and a pinch of salt. That is it, guys. That is all you need for Subi Subi fried scones. So what I'm going to do is probably show you how to, hopefully not take my fingers off, how to husk a coconut. Need Jamil's old Staffordshire Bull Terrier here. What was her name again? Sasha. She used to be able to husk them with her teeth. She used to just give Sasha a coconut and she'd just rip the thing off in about 2 minutes. Rafa had taken a bloody week to do that. So I'm gonna do it with my machete. Best way to do it is if you've got a sharp spike or something, you know, like a star picket with a spike on the end, and you do that, you can husk a coconut very quickly doing that. I've got nothing to do it on. I'm going to do it with a machete. How I have not taken my fingers off yet, I do not know. I find the more beers I have, the better I get at it. Can you believe that? So I might have to finish this beer before I start. I'll show you how to do 1, and then I'll husk all 4, and then I'm going to show you how to crack a coconut almost perfectly in half, get the water out of them, and then show you how to actually get the shredded coconut meat out of a coconut and squeeze it and get milk and cream out of it. See you soon. Let's have a go. By the time this comes out, it'll be a midget coconut. That's why I got 4 of them. They're only small ones. Righto. Come on. Would have been quicker doing it with my teeth. Come on. Reckon me lawn. Righto. Got in a bit. The idea is to take it nice and easy and not get your fingers. Righto. We're getting there. Now it's just a matter of peeling the rest of this husk off here. We cut a little bit more off. Righto, that's about, I told you they'd be small. Look at it, midget. The sport in there, but we'll get enough meat out of there. All going well. What I'll do, guys, is I'll just trim a little bit more off. The less fur we got on there, the better. I'll get a bit more of this fur off and then I'll show you how to crack it, eh? So he's only a small coconut. Rather than crack it now, I'll try and get the water out first. So he's got a smiley face here, 2 eyes and a nose or a mouth. Just hollow out the mouth bit like that and you should be able to get the water out. There's a lot of fur and that in there. You'd really need to strain that. And as sometimes, depending on how long they've been sitting in the sun, I've got a funny feeling this is going to be sour. No, it's not. That's alright. There's a lot of shit in there, but righto. What I'll do now, I'll show you how to crack this coconut. So what we need to do, I need to get these in roughly halves so I can scrape the coconut flesh out. So what we do using the machete, we use the back of the machete and we go around the equator, okay? There's the smiley face end, you've got to go around the middle, or where the equator would be if you think of it as a globe. Just, you don't have to tap it hard. Light taps with the back of the machete or your big knife, whatever you got, just use the back. And after a while, you'll hear it, a bit of a dull thud start. Crackle appear. Don't rush it, take your time. Oh, here we go, I just heard it. And you hear that dull thud like hit me in the head. Big dull thud. More juice coming out. Here we go. 2 almost perfect halves. And what we're going to do is get in and we're going to scrape the flesh out of these. They're only small coconuts. That's why I got 4. So I'm going to do the same with the other 4. When I come back, I'm going to show you how to scrape them, eh? Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you now, it would have been easier to go to Woolworths or Coles and buy a couple of cans of coconut milk. That's it. Oh, it is hot, muggy. I'm bloody dripping with sweat. Anyway, stop whinging, buck. It's summer. So, this is easier when you get the big coconuts. These are the smallest ones I could find. I should have gone down to Bingle Bay and got the real big ones and got a decent sized coconut. The ones we got with the kids the other days were bloody beauties. But anyway, that's the white flesh we're after. How am I going to get that out? With this thing here, coconut scraper, eBay, 10 bucks. This is from P&G, this one. She's a little bit rusty, but I've given it a wipe over, so it'll be fine. Getting it started's the hard bit. You just work around, and look at that. Oh, beautiful. Work around the sides first. Look at that. That's just shredding that coconut out of the coconut flesh out. And what we're going to do, going to show you soon how to squeeze that and get the milk and the cream out. So it's slowly shredding it out. I'll do a half for you so you can see it doesn't take long. Keep working it around. I'm surprised Rafa's not out here. He loves coconut. Smashes it. We're sitting there with the grandkids on the beach the other day and he was smashing his coconut. He loves it. I'll keep a bit for him. As soon as you feel the sweat drop, beer. Oh, that's good. Does a good job, these coconut scrapers. Look at it just coming out. You just push it off into your tin. Keep working him around. Don't rush it. Just keep working him around. Push him off, all the flesh off into the tin. Look at that. Oh, make sure I don't get sweat in there. It'll be Subi Subi and sweat scones, fried scones. Remind me of the old army cooks, they'd be cooking up in the big industrial kitchen and you'd see the sweat dripping off their face, down their nose, straight into the stew or something. They go, hey, I've got to eat that soon. But anyway, bit of salt, bit of extra salt. I wrote a funny comment the other day. Talking about army courses, and someone said, they're talking about what's harder, the commando course or the SAS course, and someone said the cook's course. No one's ever passed it. I was in stitches. We used to hang shit on the cooks in the army, poor bastards. They did a good job, but you know, it was one of those jobs where everyone just hung shit on them. Bait layers, tucker effers, fitters and turners, fit food into a pot and turn it into shit. But yeah, so the hardest course in the army to pass, the cook's course. No one's ever passed it, you reckon? Oh dear. Oh. So I'm starting to get down to the actual husk there now. So you don't want to get all the brown stuff in there. Try and stay away from that. Work him around. Look at that. It's still got a bit there. Just have a look where you still got some flesh inside. A little bit there. Look at that. Look at that. There's not much left inside that shell. Righto. And what I'll do now, I won't put you through all that, but you get the idea. And look at that. That is just beautiful shredded coconut. Rafa would smash that if he was out here. So what I'm going to do is keep going. Look at that. They do a good job, these coconut scrapers. They really do. So you know now how to get the coconut out of a thing. Just buy one of these things off eBay and just 3 screws, screw them onto a wooden stool or a wooden chair or something like that you can sit on. make your own little wooden stool, whatever. I'm sure there's probably little wooden stools you can buy from Bunnings, and just screw the end in like that. Have it poking out the thing there, so you can put a bowl underneath. Righto. I'll come back when I've done all 6 halves, and then onto the good bit. I'm going to show you how to get the coconut milk and the coconut cream out of the coconut flesh, if there's any left, if I don't eat it all. Well, there you go. That's the fun bit, actually. That's certainly a lot more fun than getting the husk off with a bloody coconut, with a machete, the old army machete. And you see here, I've got 8 coconut. I think I said 6 before. There was 4 coconuts, so 8 halves. What was that movie? Was it a bloody Mel Brooks movie or Monty Python? Where the horse, they're making the horse noise. There's Brian, my neighbour, with the coconut shells. What movie was that? Put it down in the comments. I think it was a Monty Python. You see the horses and then the bloke in the horse behind's doing the coconut shells to make the sound effects. I think it was Monty Python. Anyway, oh, silly bloody, they were good, eh? The old movies, always the funny ones. Look at that. That's from 4 pissy little coconuts that I got off the beach this morning, guys. And have a look at it. I've got clean hands. I've washed my hands, by the way. Look how fluffy that is. A little bit of husk in that in there, but that doesn't matter because that's going to get filtered. When we get the milk and the cream out of this, that's going to get all filtered through a cloth, which you'll see in the next step. But look at how that's a whole big bowl of it that we can squeeze now and get the milk and the cream out. Look at that. Oh, that's just fresh shredded coconut. It doesn't get any fresher than that. You could probably use the green coconuts as well. I've never tried to scrape a green coconut, but get the ones that have been on the beach for a couple of weeks. Make sure there's still water in there. Every now and then you'll get a bad one. The water's sour inside, but all 4 of those were fine. That coconut flesh is, I can squeeze it now and see just between my fingers, seeing the milk and the cream coming out. So anyway, going to show you the next step. Finish my beer, stop sweating, and then we'll get back inside and I'll show you the best bit, which is squeezing the milk and the cream out of this. I'm back. I just went inside. I know why Rafa's not out here. He's inside with Mum in the air conditioning, watching a movie, belly up in the aircon. He said, "Too hot out there, Dad." He said, "You can bring me in some coconut later." I'll keep a little bit aside for him. That's Rafa's. So, notice the flag? Put down in the comments what flag that is. I'll give you a hint. It's the Australian flag, we know that. But look at the stars on it. You can see behind me. Put down in the comments what flag that is. And I'll reply to your answer. If you get it right or wrong, I'll let you know. I love interacting in the comments and all that type of stuff. I was going to turn all the comments off on me thing, but maybe my camping trips I will, because all the dickheads seem to appear that. But on my cook-ups, I usually just get all the good people who enjoy watching the clips. Now, here we go. We've got a whole bowl of freshly grated coconut meat, if you want to call it meat. Okay, absolutely beautiful. Raffles is over there. So we need to squeeze this now to get the juice out of it. To get the most out of it, we need to soak it with some warm water, because it's just a bit too dry at the moment. You'd need to put that into a press and like mechanically press it or something. You wouldn't get enough out. So what we do, I boiled the jug about half an hour ago in there for a coffee. I'm just going to pour some in. It's only warm water, like pour some water in. Not too much, but you need enough to soak the coconut flesh, because there's a fair bit of coconut flesh in there. And we mix it up and we just let it soak, let it rest, maybe a little bit more. Alright, that'll do. That's heaps. Just for 10-15 minutes now, one beer, I'm just going to keep pushing that through the warm water. And what the warm water does is it just helps soak the coconut flesh so that it's easy to squeeze all the milk out of it. Okay, you're probably going, oh, but some of the milk will have water in it. Yeah, doesn't matter. What we just want is a liquid. Won't be squeezing that one. I'll eat that bit. We want a liquid to put with the self-raising flour. Hopefully have a nice coconut flavour or Subi Subi. So, come back soon. I'll keep mixing this around. And we'll come back and we'll do the big squeeze. Righto, time to get serious. Here we go. Clean bowl, clean hands, and a clean chucks cloth. Or a cheese cloth, something that you can filter through. So that'll probably break the chucks cloth. See how we go. Put him in there. I'm going to put half of it in. The coconut flesh, been soaking in not boiling hot water, but fairly hot water for about 10 minutes. Give it another mix up. We're going to throw it into here. The water too, like there's water down the bottom, you want that too. In she goes, about half of that, we'll do half at a time. There we go. What we do is carefully gather our chucks cloth or cheese cloth up. It's where we got to use some muscle. That there's quite watery at the moment, what's gone in there. But what we do now is we squeeze this, and you can see here it doesn't take much. Look at that. We start squeezing this really hard, and that gets more of the milk and the cream and that out of there. So we give it a squeeze. Nice hard squeeze. Hard as you can without breaking the chucks cloth. I did that last time. I actually broke the chucks cloth. Oh, it's hard when I've got arthritis in my right thumb now, guys. Geez, it's weak now. I've got no strength in it, eh? You know it's bad when you've got to get your missus to take the bloody lids off the jam jars. Nice and hard. Get her out there. See, that's looking, if you look in there now, that's looking a lot milkier looking. Before it was a little bit watery looking because it was mostly the water. But now that I've squeezed the coconut, it's really starting to look really milky. And people are going to go, Buck, how do you get the cream from the milk, separate it? Well, you heard the saying, cream rises to the top. It's exactly what it does with this. You can scrape the cream off the top, and that's how they do it industrial type thing, I guess, is how they separate the cream from the milk. The cream rises to the top. So what we're going to do now, that flesh will be all dry now, drier than when look at that. That's really dry as a bone now. But we'll do a second squeeze out of that. I'm just going to tip that on the table for now, the nice clean dirty table. So what I'm going to do now, put the chucks back over there, and I'm going to put the other half in. In it goes. All of it in now. Did it in 2 batches. Slowly gather it up again. It doesn't matter, the chucks has gone back into the milk, that's going to drain out, that's fine. Make sure he's all up. Bring him round. And we're going to do the same with this one. You can see it, as soon as I squeeze it, you can see all that coconut milk coming out the top. We're getting a lot of coconut milk now. Yeah, some of it's the hot water, but there's a lot of milk in there too. You need to soak it, guys. You need to soak it, otherwise you're not going to get enough milk and that out of it. So here we go, another good squeeze. Squeeze and twist without breaking the chucks cloth. Oh boy. My thumb is killing me. That right in there. Had it x-rayed. Yeah, mate, arthritis. I went, Arthur who? Arthritis. My body is riddled with it now, guys. Put the shade sail back up this morning and just trying to get back down the ladder. It's just stiff and sore, and my hips, nothing bloody moves the way it used to. Don't get old, everyone. It sucks. My brain still says I can do it. The old body's starting to say, hang on, Buck. No, you can't. Don't be a diddly donk. Getting to the stage, I reckon, I'm going to have to start getting Jamil up that ladder. Mind you, he's scared of heights. He won't get up on the ladder. Come on. One more squeeze. I reckon that's enough. I was going to do a second squeeze on that. Put a little bit more, put that back in here. Bit more hot water. And you can do a second squeeze, but I've got over, I reckon, a good half. If you can see in there, hopefully. That's a good half of, now that's probably not as creamy and as milky as what you get in a can, because I'm sure that they don't sit there doing that in the factories. They've probably got a mechanical device or a big press that just presses the coconut stuff and gets it out. But to do it, that's how you do it. That's how the islanders would do it if they're using coconuts up there. Use a bit of cheesecloth and use a bit of muscle. And you can already see now, look at that. The cream, yeah, the coconut cream starting to come to the top. So if I just put the fork on the cream sticks to the fork, so it's nice and thick. Let that sit for half an hour, and then you can try and separate the cream off the top. We're not going to use it. Going to mix it up. Going to use it all in the bowl. So what I'm going to do now is I'll probably just pour this back in here like that. I'm going to rinse that bowl, because that one's going to have the flour in it. I'm going to get rid of this into the bin, the coconut. Look at that. You could still probably eat that. It wouldn't have as much flavour, but you can still eat that. Yeah, bit dry and not as coconutty flavoured as when you first scrape it. Anyway, there you go. That's how you get the coconut milk out of the coconut flesh. Now, I'll tidy up, we'll come back and we'll start making the Subi Subi scones. Righto guys, here we go. So, 3 cups of self-raising flour. I'm not even going to measure it. I don't know, about 3 cups in there. Let's see how we go. I'm going to sift it through the sifter here. Shake, shake her in. You'll know, as it, you ever made scones and that before, you'll know roughly how much to put in. I'm just going to use this whole container. Roughly 3 cups. How much coconut milk and cream? I don't know. Until it looks like you can knead it. Leave a little bit of flour behind just to flour the thing. I've given that a wipe down so that table's clean. I don't know, a little bit more. Yeah, I'll leave that now. So we'll give that a... So that does a good job of sifting that. Wow, there you go. So there you go, about 3 cups of flour, sifted flour. If you haven't got a sieve, don't worry about it, just throw it in, guys, it doesn't matter. Now, pinch of salt. Here we go. Pinch of salt. And what we do now, make a well in there. Make a bit of a well. That didn't work real well. And in with our coconut. You can see now, I don't know if you can see there, but on the top, oh yeah, scrape your finger along the top, and that's just beautiful coconut cream. And you can see it sticking to the side of the bowl. So what we'll do is we'll throw a bit in. Coconut cream and milk, whatever. I've got heaps there. There's going to be heaps left over. to make coconut curry chicken, or Roz the other night made coconut curry fish. If you've, I'll see if I can put the link down in the description. If you haven't seen my coconut curry chicken recipe, which is a Torres Strait Island favourite, coconut curry chicken, links down in the description, guys. If you want to do coconut curry fish, any type of, whatever your nice fish is, nice big chunks of fish, Spanish mackerel, reef fish, anything, red emperor, coral, trout, cod, whatever you can get your hands on, nice big cubes, and just supplement the chicken for the fish, and it does the same thing. So we're just going to give this a bit of a mix. Quick mix here. We'll need a little bit. You can tell it's going to be too dry, so I'll just mix it anyway. Give it a mix with a fork. Yep, definitely need a little bit more coconut milk and cream. In she goes, about that much. Don't put too much in, just little bit by little bit. It's easy to add the milk and the cream than it is to try and round up more flour, if you know what I mean. Going close now with this one. You'll know, just keep mixing it as much as you can with a fork, and you'll know when it's time to get him out, which is, I won't need any more now. I won't need any more. Get that off. Maybe tiny bit. Tiny bit more. Keep mixing him with a fork. Righto, so what I'll do now is I'll flour the mostly clean table, our old camping table. Flour that. Out he comes in a big ball. Try and scrape as much off as you can. Can't really smell the coconut. As I said, will you taste the coconut in this? Probably, I don't know. You could use water. If you don't have coconut milk or coconut cream, you can't be bothered squeezing your own, just bloody use water, guys. Which is the same as a damper mix, isn't it? Flour, self-raising flour, pinch of salt and water. That's a basic damper. Same thing here, only we're using coconut milk and coconut cream. Subi Subi, they call it in the Torres Strait. For those watching who have no idea, if you've been living under a rock, who have no idea about the Torres Strait, my partner of nearly 20 years, Roz, is a Torres Strait Islander, guys. They are, Australia has two indigenous peoples, the Aboriginal people, which are the mainlanders, and the Torres Strait Islanders. The Torres Strait Islands, about 200 beautiful little islands that lie between the tip of Australia up on the tip of Queensland, between Queensland and Papua New Guinea. Couple of the islands right up north, and I mean a couple of kilometres offshore of Papua New Guinea, actually belong to Papua New Guinea. Back in 1975, they were going to split the islands down the middle. When Papua New Guinea got its independence from Australia, they were going to split the Torres Strait right down the middle. Joh Bjelke-Petersen said, no way. And a lot of the islanders up there said, no, we do not want that to happen. We don't want to be part of PNG. And there's a reason behind that, without sounding nasty towards PNG. Let me tell you, they're better off under Australian rule than Papua New Guinea rule. I've lived in Papua New Guinea, guys, and two brothers I know, or one of the brothers, he said, mate, I joined the PNG DF, Papua New Guinea Defence Force. My brother joined the Australian Defence Force. He gets paid about 10 times more than what I do. He said, I'm lucky to even get paid. So some of Australia's Torres Strait Islands, the furthest ones up, like Boigu and Saibai Island, is only 3 kilometres off mainland Papua New Guinea. You can actually see Papua New Guinea from Saibai Island, which is Australian territory. So that's how far up the Torres Strait Island goes. 1975, they're going to split it in the middle. Top half belongs to Papua New Guinea, bottom half belongs to Australia. Joe Peterson, Kingaroy lad from Steve Fuller territory, he had a lot to do with that and said, nah, Torres Strait's going to be part of Queensland, it's going to be part of Australia. So Joe Peterson had a lot to do with the Torres Strait Islands being part of Queensland and being part of Australia. And they're Australian people, got a beautiful flag which is just behind me here. Might show you if you haven't seen that before. Roz's mum and dad were born in the Torres Strait, guys. Born in those little islands up there. Beautiful place. Roz's mum born on Nagi Island, and you've probably seen Nagi Island clip. What a beautiful place. See if I can put that in the description for you too. I'm pretty sure that's on my new channel, one I managed to find somewhere. When Roz and I fly out to Nagi Island, halfway, or a third of the way to Papua New Guinea, where Roz's mum was born. Roz's grandmum's still buried on that island. It's uninhabited now. Roz's mum was born and raised on that little beautiful little island. Mount Ernest is the English name. Probably going, shut up, Buck. I've been talking while I've been kneading the dough. Did you notice that? It was a sneaky tactic of mine. I thought I'll jibber jabber while I'm having a knead of the dough. So here we go. I've finished jibber jabbering now. If you didn't know anything about the Torres Strait Islands, you know a little bit now, guys. You ever go up to Cape York on a holiday? Don't just stop at Cape York. Get on the ferry at Seisha and go up and spend a day on Thursday Island and Horn Island. Horn Island, the most bombed part of Australia in World War II by the Japanese. Great museum on there. A lot of history, pearl diving and all that. When you go up to Cape York next time and you haven't been to, do a day trip. Beautiful ferry, and when you're going up to Thursday Island on the ferry, you'll hear some music. Uncle Seaman Dan and the Mill Sisters, all related to Roz. The famous singing Mill Sisters, the three sisters, there's only one still alive now, plus Roz's mum. Roz's mum Laura was the fourth Mill sister. She didn't actually sing with her sisters. Auntie Rita, Auntie Ina and Auntie Sessa were their names, and Uncle Seaman Dan was Roz's dad's cousin. You'll hear them singing and their music on the ferry on the way to Thursday Island when you leave mainland Australia. Just remember that if you ever do that. Go, I remember Buck saying that. Absolutely fantastic. Righto, here we go. We're going to roll it out, and what we're going to do is roll them out so that they're about 1 centimetre thick. Okay, we're going to roll this out now until they're about 1 centimetre thick. 2.5 centimetres to 1 inch, so not quite half an inch thick. You want to do them half an inch thick? Go for it. Piss or fly. Those bastards, every time there's a bit of food around, they appear. Mongrel things. So, this is where I could butcher this. This is where I could butcher this, and all the Torres Strait Island people watching will be going, Buck, you diddly donk, you stuffed it up. It's the way you cut them. You've got to cut them like on an angle. So I'll do that. I'll flatten that out a little bit more. If you haven't got a rolling pin, guys, flatten it out with your hand. It doesn't matter. Righto. Yeah, as long as you can lift that up. Make sure you got flour underneath so that it doesn't stick, okay? What we're going to do now is I'm going to find my knife, which is, I have no idea where it is. I've got a sharp knife somewhere. What I need to do now is cut these things on an angle and get them ready to fry. And what I might do, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on the little butane stove. I'll do it on the butane stove. There was a bit of breeze around before, but I'll just tidy up a bit. I'll come back. I'm going to show you how to slice the thing, get the oil ready, and show you how to fry them up, eh? Subi Subi fried scones from the Torres Strait Islands. Beauty. Right, I'm going to have to work quick. I've just been on the phone for half an hour with Crazy Dog. Crazy Dog gave me a call for Australia Day. He's on his 8th bloody Torley. So I've had to re-knead this because it was sticking to the table. But what I'm going to do here, guys, is I haven't done this before, so I'm just going to go there. I don't know, what's that about, bloody couple inches wide, slicing down there. Hope these aren't too thick, about a centimetre thick. Hopefully it's not going to stick to the table too much when I go to pick them up. There, and alright, that one there I'll have to do. Now, this is where we cut them on an angle, I reckon. One there, one there, one there, so we can pick them up. I reckon they're a bit thick, but we'll see how we go. Another one there. Get two out of this one here. Righto. So that's what we want. We're just going to cut them. You can flatten them a little bit there if we want. We're going to quickly get the frying pan and the oil ready. You're not going to believe it. You're going to go, Buck, he's done it. He's bought a bloody induction cooker. But it's not for out camping, guys. This is just for shed cooking. I was on Anaconda the other day, Anaconda site, and I saw these June 4-wheel drive bloody single induction cookers, and I thought, wow, that'd be good for the shed, because I've got 240 in the shed, obviously. Just doing little shed cook-ups if I don't want to use gas. And I've never used one of these before, and I'm going to give it a go. So there it is there, little single induction cooker, June 4-wheel drive, available at Anaconda. It cost me 59 bucks. And I thought, bugger it, I'm going to get one and see how it goes. So why not? I'm not going to use it out thing. I haven't got an inverter big enough at the moment to run that out camping. So that's just going to be a shed, a thing for the shed, guys. So rightio. Plug him in. There you go. So I've plugged it in. I tried this the other day on my 700 watt inverter on my battery box. Didn't work, because as soon as you turn it on, it automatically goes to 1200 watts, which is halfway. You can turn it all the way down to 300 watts and then it'd work. But when it first turns on, it's 1200 watts, and so I can't run this off my battery box because I've only got a 700 watt inverter. Camper trailer's only got a 350 watt inverter, guys, so this is no good to me for camping. It's where you need the big lithium batteries, but I don't intend to. I don't want to take this camping anyway. I prefer to cook on fire or with charcoal or with gas or whatever on the bloody baby Weber cube. This is just for the shed. So I'm going to turn him on. Put the cast iron skillet on. There we go. Barbecue fry. Well, how's this work? Righto. I'll come back when I work out how to use it. How dumb am I? It's turned, here we go. Turn it on. Oh, mode. Mode. Sorry, there you go. Just hit mode. Bit of paper towel. These things heat up so quick. Unbelievable how quick they heat up. I'm going to go down from 1200. Where's it go? It goes all the way 14, 16, 18, 20, 2000 watts. Wow. We're going to go down to 500 watts. I don't want to have it too hot. Oh, cannot believe how hot the pan gets quickly. It's just so quick. And if I take that off, I can put my finger on it. Like, it's just incredible. Back to 500. So it only gets hot when there's metal on there, and it works with cast iron. So what I'm going to do here, everyone, get a bit of paper towel and then put the oil in. I just grabbed this out of the camper trailer, guys, so it's just a little bit of dust and I don't know what it is, probably a bit of flour and that in there. So, what I'm going to do now, just some canola oil, in she goes. About a centimetre thick. About a centimetre on the bottom. We'll let that come up to temperature. I'll show you how to test for temperature. I'll get the camera in closer so you can look down onto the oil. I can't believe how quickly these induction cookers get the cooker. Unbelievable. It's not hot up there, but on the bottom I can see the oil starting to bubble already. And that's only on 500 watts. Okie doke. Let's get ready to fry some Torres Strait Island Subi Subi scones up. So how do we know if the oil's hot enough to fry in? We get a little pinch of flour, throw it in the oil. And if it sizzles up like that and evaporates, you know you're right. So what we're going to do now, pick up our piece of scone like that and lay it in the oil. One there. Pat him down. Another one there. Oh, I try not to get them to stick together. One there. I've had these sitting around too long and they're starting to not work for me. Put that one on an angle, another one in the middle. Righto, there we go. We'll let them fry up. See them starting to raise already, guys. It's just like frying a bit of fish. Leave them like that, let them puff right up, let them get nice and crispy on the bottom, and then we flip them over. So that's on 500 watts. Might go up just slightly a bit more. Well, that's to 800. If that's too hot, I'll turn it down. So it goes from 500 to 800 there. So I'll see how we go. That's starting to come up already. So let's fry them up and see how they go. I'll come back when they're ready to turn. Just flip them, guys. This little one in the middle was cooking quicker than the other one. So the middle of the pan was a little bit hotter. So I'll flip them over. So there we go. I reckon they'll need another flip. Anyway, we'll just keep them in there for now. This is the first time I've done these, so we'll see how we go. They are puffing up nicely. I just need to get them nice and golden brown on the outside. Another batch on. I'll tell you what, my shapes are getting worse. Look at them. That's a shark. That's a crocodile. The head of a crocodile. Only Maya would be disgusted with my shapes. But anyway, look at how that's puffing up there, guys. Keep an eye on them. They don't take long. They're coming along well. Honey Maya's fried scones. I reckon I've got another handful to go now. Overdone that one. Doesn't matter. A bit crispy on the outside, but they're fine. Look at that. That's a beauty. As I said, that's, you know, cut that in half, butter on it, and that can go with a coconut curry chicken, coconut curry fish, or butter and jam, butter and golden syrup, savoury or sweet. They're beauties, and they last for a few days in the fridge too as well. So if you haven't got an oven, guys, and you can't cook scones out bush, this is another way to do a good scone. Probably not as healthy, but they're still bloody nice. Here we go. We'll flip these over. Yeah, the centre of that frying pan's definitely hotter than the outside. Way hotter. I'll get him on the outside there. Someone's ding-dinging me there. Flip them over. Someone's sending me a messenger. Righto, there we go. Yeah, just notice with this induction cooker, the centre is very hot compared to the outside. So I might just keep everything to the outside for now, just so I don't burn it. You can see here, This is just on the 500 watts. I'd hate to think how hot it'd get if I put it on 2000 watts. My goodness. This is the first time I've cooked on an induction cooker. I don't know, I think I prefer gas, guys. I think I like the idea of gas a bit better. Okie doke. Final one coming out there on that batch. Put on some paper towel. Last batch going in. Here we go. On the outside so I don't burn these ones. There's the last 5. Righto, time to turn these ones. Look at that one, it's got a big bubble in it. I don't know if they're supposed to do that or not. Oh boy, that's probably why it had the bubble. It's a bit hot there. I just found this pan on this induction cooker, guys. The cooking's not as even as gas. Give me gas any day. I knew there was a reason I didn't like induction. This thing's all over the place like a mad woman's shit. Look at that. Well, it's only on 500 watts. It's not even. The heat is not even. You get a more even heat with gas. I don't care what anyone says. Don't know. Probably alright if you're cooking a stew or something like that. But there's no way this is cooking as evenly as what gas would. Probably should have used the butane stove. That's my excuse for making a meal of these Subi Subi bloody scones, but look at that one. That's cooked. I'm taking that one off now. Get them out of the middle. Another 30 seconds. Might give them a final flip. Nice and golden there. Yeah, just a bit uneven. I'm a bit disappointed with it, actually. Righto, folks. These are the worst Subi Subi scones I've ever seen. And I usually give myself a pat on the back when I do some good food. For all the Torres Strait Islanders out there, I apologise. They're probably throwing shit at their TV and computer as we speak, going, this dickhead on bloody YouTube has just shamed our Subi Subi scones. Have a look at them. But I'm going to give them the taste test anyway. They haven't puffed up as thick as what Maria's did. I maybe could have had them a bit thicker. Now listen, any good chef who makes a shit feed has got to have an excuse. My excuse is I use that June 4-wheel drive induction cooker. $59. Probably know now why they are $59. It had hot spots in that pan. It honestly, have a look at it. There's hot spots everywhere in that pan. That side there, that's what they're supposed to look like. Nice and golden there. So anyway, listen, I don't want to beat myself up too bad. I've got to take, if you don't see this clip tomorrow, you know Roz has knocked me clean out for stuffing up the Subi Subi scones. She'll go, Rogers, you're a disgrace. Don't ever do anything Torres Strait Islander again. But I'm going to pick a good one out. This one here will be all right. It's not as thick. Like Maria's are a lot thicker than this. Sharper knife, Buck. It's cooked inside. Beauty. That's one thing. As long as it's cooked. Bit of butter. Now listen, I said before, Subi Subi scones are something you can have with sweet or savoury. Butter and jam, jam and cream. My favourite, which you're going to see in a minute. Heaps of butter. Roz loves heaps of butter. As I said, if you see this tomorrow, if I get to post this tonight, you know, Roz has actually given me a thumbs up and said, I'll let you off. If you don't see this clip on the 27th of January, guys, you know I've been knocked clean out. This is the bomb here, golden syrup, and this is my last squirt of golden syrup. I've got to get my ass into Coles and buy another thing. Golden syrup, here we go. Butter and golden, oh yeah. I've got enough for one Subi Subi scone. Can you believe that? I've got enough just for the taste test. Golden syrup is the bomb. If you have not got some of that in your pantry or fridge, get it in there. CSR golden syrup. Absolutely amazing. Goes great with butter. Taste test. Too thin. Not thick enough, not fluffy enough. Taste is alright. Tastes still alright. I might have saved myself from getting knocked out here, guys. Mind you, you could put golden syrup on a dog turd and it'd taste good, I reckon. That's nice. They're alright. I'll give Roz that one. That'll be Roz's. Bit thicker. Give Roz a go. Roz loves jam and butter. As I said, keep these wrapped up in a towel, a tea towel or something in the fridge or in a container, and these will last a couple of days. You can microwave them if you want. Microwave them, heat them up, have them cold, cut them in half, have them cold, bit of butter on there, and have them with your coconut curry chicken, coconut curry fish, a stew, anything you want. As I said, can be a great little side bread for a stew when you're out camping. If you haven't got a way to cook anything like this, if you've got a bit of oil on you, shallow fry. Flour, water, pinch of salt, and shallow fry some scones up. Can I taste the coconut in there? No, I can't. Which makes me think you just probably use water. But if you've got coconut milk or coconut cream, use it. But I'll tell you what, with some butter and golden syrup on, there is nothing wrong with those. They are bloody beautiful. So they look shit, but they taste good. So there you go, guys. Buck's attempt at some Torres Strait Island Subi Subi fried scones. Annie Myers fried scones. Maria, if you're watching, I haven't done you justice. I apologise. Maybe one day I'd actually love to have Maria on and get Maria to show you how to do them properly. Maria's bloody proper Torres Strait, guys. Maria was born up in the islands. Roz's first cousin, Maria Billy, and every time there's a Torres Strait Island do, whether it's a birthday or a get together, Annie Meyer turns up with her fried scones all the time. There's some channels out there with Torres Strait Islanders and Aboriginal people too that do fried scones because it's cheap. Flour, pinch of salt and water, or some coconut milk, can of coconut milk. It's a cheap feed. Want to have afternoon tea, morning tea with a cup of tea, cup of coffee? These are beautiful. Probably not as healthy as if you bake them in the oven or whatever, but hey, they don't have bloody fancy ovens and that up in the Torres Strait. This is the way they do things up there. They fry up the scones. Subi Subi Domboy. That's another thing I'm going to have a crack at. I've got to practice that one before I actually do a clip on it. This is the first time I've ever tried this, guys. Honestly. They could look better. But I'll tell you what, they taste alright. Give them a go. Maria, if you're watching, I've got to get you on. Show everyone out there how to do them properly. For any Torres Strait Islander or Aboriginal people out there, let me know how you reckon I went. Give me a thumbs down if you reckon I stuffed them up. But honestly, they taste alright. Give them a go at home, guys. Give them a go next time you're out camping. All you do, that's all. That's how much oil I used. So I didn't use a lot of oil. There's still quite a bit of oil in the frying pan, which I'm going to tip in the garden or something later on. So I didn't use, it's not like I used a gallon of oil to fry them up and deep fry them. I've shallow fried them. I didn't use a lot of oil. I used canola oil, which is semi-healthy. And have a look at that. Got enough for afternoon tea. Morning tea tomorrow morning with some jam and cream. And if Roz cooks up a stew or something tomorrow night, well, probably, you don't need bread or bread buns or anything. You got some Subi Subi fried scones there. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you had a great Australia Day. I'll go in, do one for Roz. I'll try and pick out the best one in there, so she thinks I nailed them. But look at that. How cheap is that? 3 cups of flour. Have a look at the amount of scones I've got there. Don't be worried by the dark bits there. They're fine to eat. Nothing wrong with it. They're probably not as thick. That's how thick they should be. That one there was perfect. That one there is about as thick as they should be. As long as you can cut them in half, put a bit of butter on them, who cares? There you go. Buck's attempt at Torres Strait Island Subi Subi coconut fried scones. Catch you later, guys. Thanks for watching. This was going to be a 15-minute clip. It's probably an hour and 15. I apologise once again. I keep jibber jabbering. Let me know if you have a go at the coconuts. Get your own scraper. Have a go. Squeeze the coconut milk out. Next time you go to make coconut curry chicken, coconut curry fish or something like that, do your own coconut milk and juice. I've still got a heap left over. We'll try and do something tomorrow night and use the rest of that coconut milk, coconut cream up. Take care. Be good to each other. See you next time, mate. You beauty.